This next castle is the one that was in the background of the original picture that I took on this cruise. Thanks to the careful reconstruction work, this castle is probably today offers almost an authentic idea of what the medieval castle was like. Walls of the original plaster remain and have survived alterations. Have all been kept to a minimum. Today, with this the Richtenstein Castle, which we just talked about, Sunuk was part of a defensive fortification used to protect the Trechenstanhas estates of the Colnil in Munster Abbey near Aschen. The Knights of the Bolensden and the Lords of Hohenfels after 1241 became stewards of this castle in the Richtenstein during the 12th and 13th century. Their less than scrupulous behavior at this castle as well, including the incursions of illegal collections of the Rhine tolls, brought these robber barons to the attention of the Rheinische Staatsbund Alliance, the Rhinish towns, who in 1254 sent the army to lay siege to the two castles. In 1282, King Rudolf of Habsburg conquered and destroyed the castles of the robber barons on the Rhine. The rebuilding of Sunuk was not permitted until 1344, about 60 years later, when the electorate of Mainz seized both the estate and the stewardship. So this was back to good tolls, I guess. And in 1689, during the Palatinate War of Secession, the castle was blown up by French troops. In 1834, the ruin was purchased by the Prussian Crown Prince Frederick Wilhelm and his brother Karl and Albrecht, and it was converted into a hunting lodge for the Sunwald Forest between 1842 and 61. So Sunuk, after Rheinstein and the Solzenfell, became the third and the last of the Rhine castles to be rebuilt by the Hohenzollern family. Rebuilding retained the core of the 14th century castle. The square main castle is situated to the northwest at the highest point of the site. On the eastern side is a residential building, while the defensive western side there's a small courtyard, as well as a massive square keep, which still retains some of the original merlons and bartizans. Although only sparsely furnished during the 19th century, the castle today houses a fine collection of Biedermeier furniture from the castle of the Stolzenfels and Koblenz. The castle is owned by land of Rechen and Pals or something like that, and its interior is accessible with guided tours, and there is parking for 10 or 15 space parking near the castle with a short walk footpath that leads through the woods to the castle. This next castle, the Heimburg Castle, was built between 1290 and 1305. The Archbishop of Mainz had the castles of Henneck or Hohenneck built to protect its territory. Heimburg, as it would later be named, was not to keep its status as a strategic stronghold for very long. However, by 1290, Barkrak to the north and Techtingschanzen to the south were under the control of Count Palatine Ludwig the Strict. Heimburg Castle was meant to protect the locality and the road to the enclave of the electorate of the Mainz. When ownership of the castle of the Rheinischen turned Trechtenstein was transferred to Mainz in 1344. However, the Heimburg Castle lost its strategic importance. In 1438, the castle was the seat of the Mainz District Court, failing in falling into decay in the 16th century. It was destroyed in 1689. In the 19th century, it underwent conversion for residential use. The castle does not look very impressive from the water. It looked to be severely modified to use as a courthouse. It would look like a standard building from what I could see. The castle complex, which is virtually square, is situated on the mouth of the Hembachtal side of the valley of the Rhine. Bow-shaped curtain wall with a renovated platform galley and merlons is all that remains of the medieval castle portion. A round keep is integrated into the wall of the south side as a smaller circular tower to the west, and the current residential wing is attached to the curtain wall on the south east side. Also of more recent origin is some additional Maclacolations and battlements, the gatehouse and a gardener's house outside the inner castle. This Heimberg castle is privately owned and is not open to visitors. You can get some parking nearby and walk near the castle, but there's no entry.